Hello, what's up my smelly friends? How are you guys? RiseFrags34. This is actually a question and answer tag. So thank you so much, Jay Copeland. I will have his channel below, so check him out. But thank you so much again for the tag, Justin. I really appreciate this. Means a lot. Your musician skills are outstanding, and your nose is great. You know, the fragrance. I know you have a lot of passion for this as well, like I do. So it's great to have you in our community, and I keep bringing out these great videos that you have. So, but question one, without further ado, how many fragrances do you own? I own roughly about 485 right now. I do have some backups with those numbers in there, so I think my actual count is about 440 with about, I think, 45 backups. So that's where I'm at right now, my fragrance count. Let me see here. How do you, sorry, my handwriting is terrible. How do you organize your fragrances? Well, I'll be right back. I'm going to go ahead and do a quick little video on how I organize them and store them. So I'll be right back, and check that out, and I'll see you in just a second. Alright guys, I normally keep my boxes for all my fragrances, and I don't have any sort of room in my closet, so basically what I do is I keep them in these bins. They're those real nice hard plastic ones you can get from, wherever, Target, Walmart for, 15, 20 bucks or whatever. But I have a couple of these, so I do keep my boxes. For all my fragrances, I keep them stored down here in the basement, and I do wrap them up too to keep them protected once in a while. Some of them I don't, but like a lot of the discontinued ones and stuff, I try and keep just so they don't get scratched and all that. So, but here's my boxes for my fragrances, and that's what I keep them in. Looks like I need another bin, but I just wanted to let you guys know that boxes are important sometimes when people are buying the fragrances, so with batch numbers and things like that. So I always keep my boxes. But there are my boxes to my fragrances. All right, fragrance community, here's how I store my fragrances. That was one of the questions on this list. I don't keep them in a bathroom. I don't keep them in a cooler. I've heard mixed reviews on the coolers. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. There's condensation that sometimes get into the bottles once you go from cool to warm. So I think at a nice temperature in your house, 68, 70 degrees all year round, in a nice dark closet, that's where you're gonna probably get your best, they're gonna last the longest, I think, with that, because there's not too many climate changes at all. So, but this is my closet, of course. A lot of people want to know the upper bottles there are either duplicates, like backup bottles, or they're ones that are kind of really rare that I don't use too much, and I just have decants of. So I kind of want to keep them stored away nice, and just so they're always good. And especially like with my nice Creed flacons and stuff, I do have my atomizers right there, as you can see. So I don't really like to get into those bottles and keep opening, because they, a lot of the juice evaporates, things like that. So I'm weird. I'm a collector, of course. Like I said, a lot of my bottles are full, but I do go through, 10, 15 mil decants of the fragrance as well. So, but it's nice because once they go discontinued, if I ever need the money, I can sell them, or I can, I can use them, and they'll be rare, So, but here's how I keep them. Of course, just a quick look at the collection. These are, like I said, not all my bottles, but most of them, so you can kind of get a good view. And I promise you guys I will do a collection video, but it's just so hard to get all these bottles together and kind of go through them. But just looking, you can kind of see some of my collection there. Again, I'm sorry guys, this is a tag video, it's not a collection video, but this is just kind of the way I store them. Luckily too, they don't get too dusty in here because I'm not in here as often, so it's kind of nice, and there's no clothes in this closet or anything, so it's kind of nice. Down here as well. And then these are really nice. I actually keep these like a bunch of Raja decants and samples, more samples, just other things for my fragrances. Those are really nice for storing your samples. And then of course these are really nice. I love those for the samples because they're different containers. They're plastic, they can stay nice and stored, of course. And just more boxes back there and stuff that I have a bunch of samples in. But sorry to do a long video on this, but just kind of wanted to show you the collection, just how I kind of keep them stored. Like I said, very cool and dark, and these juices will last a long time. So don't ever worry about the expiration dates and things like that, because they'll last if you store them properly. So, all right, guys, back to the questions. All right, guys, I'm back. Hopefully I didn't bore you with that. Just wanted to kind of show you how I store them and my boxes. It's important to always store your fragrances properly, because a lot of times, you know, you're never going to go through these fragrances in your lifetime, so you want them to be stored nice, so in 10 years it'll still be good. So, but getting on that, what was the first fragrance you ever owned? I guess you had ever. I would have to say Aspen. That was my first. You know, I wore some of my father's fragrances when I was growing up. I used to go in my brother's bedroom, steal some of his, but my actual first bottle was from my girlfriend in 8th grade, and she bought me Aspen, and that was my first bottle, and I wore that for about a year or two. So that was my first one. What is your, sorry again, my handwriting is terrible, and that light is shining right in my eye, but what is your newest fragrance? I'm gonna have to say this guy right here, Exception #1, which I have a review coming up later on, but Micallef, the Exception #1, awesome fragrance, guys, so really enjoy that. And then also on the way, I do have Vetiver Geranium coming from Creed, finally in my collection. So, what is your most expensive fragrance? Now this one's tough because I guess if you were to buy the fragrance at the time, it probably wasn't that much, but now with them being discontinued and rare and stuff like that, you know, the demand for them goes up, and then of course the value does. So, but I think the most I've ever spent on a fragrance was Royal Service by Creed. That was right around $17.50. I do have #3 from Raja. That was about $14, I think $14.50. I do have Great Britain, another $1,500–1,600 fragrance. But my real nice ones right now, I do have, of course those are nice, but Moss Brushes, I do have a sealed 8.4 flacon of that, which is that's just an awesome fragrance. I do have a 50 ml bottle of that too that I use, but I do have that put away for some great special times when my 50 ml does go away. But I think that's possibly worth, you know, the couple $2,500 now. And then again, my one and only King Aventus 2011 batch 500 milliliter, so it's all full sealed and put away, and that's my Z01 batch 2011, and that's my batch of Aventus, so that's probably worth quite a bit. So, but that's that. So most dramatic buying experience is #6. That one's tough because I really never had a dramatic experience. I just had, you know, bottles break, of course. I got one of my first Raja bottles. It was Crystal Oud, and Bergdorf sent it. Bergdorf Goodman sent it to me and stuff, and I opened it, and there was a little crack in there. Half the juice was gone, and I was kind of devastated. But they took it back and sent me a new one. So thank God for all that. You know, it happens. You know, but dramatic. You know, I've been burned a couple times on eBay, but got my money back. So, but that's kind of as dramatic as it's ever gotten. So, current fragrance store #7. That's tough too because I love Oswald, I love Min New York, and I do a lot online and I talk to the associates on the phone. I don't really get to go into the store, so that's a tough question to answer too because I don't really know, you know, of course those stores that I just mentioned I would probably be treated really well because they know me and stuff, but you know, I don't know about a lot of the other fragrance stores. And even Bergdorf Goodman's great because like when I talk to my friend Tom over there and stuff, he can go downstairs, he can sell me stuff from Mimo and Francis Kirkjian and, you know, a lot of those. So he can kind of do it all, you know, versus just Raja, you know. So it's kind of cool that I have him over there at Bergdorf. But the stores, you know, I've been very lucky with all the, you know, Josie from Oswald's and Min New York, everyone, you know, it's just been so nice. So favorite store, that's another tough question. But current favorite fragrance, another one. So hard to answer. Sorry about this, guys. Spice and Wood has always been up there. You know, Royal Service is really great. Moss Brushes, Amber Oud, you know, Great Britain. There's a lot of those. Just there's the list of them is just hard to pick out certain fragrances that you know. I love so many, and they're just so. Some of them are so different and just such masterpieces, you know. But I guess if I had to, you know, in Aventus, I mean, just some great fragrances, you know, out there. So that's another tough question to answer. I guess maybe Spice and Wood would probably be my, like, if I could kind of pick like a signature favorite fragrance, that's probably it, you know, but for just the times that I always wear it, you know what I mean. Moss Brushes is awesome too, but and even Royal Service is great, but Spice and Wood probably be the one that I would have to pick. So least favorite fragrance, this is tough too because I do appreciate all fragrances, even like the leather ouds and the, you know, a lot of that stuff, it might smell like a barnyard horse crap or whatever, but when you get to the dry down, you know what I mean? So that's a tough one. You know, I can't answer that either. That's really hard for me to answer. There was one that actually smelled very medicinal. I hate hospitals. I don't like, you know, anything medical. I'm afraid of. I don't like that stuff. And this one kind of smelled like almost like a hospital room. It was very like medicinal and stuff. I didn't like that at all. So, but I can't remember the name of it. So, Least, okay, I already did that one. Next fragrance purchase. Oh man, I think I'm gonna try and grab one from this. I've been sampling these, the Fragrance Du Bois samples, and my gosh, they're beautiful. So I might grab a bottle of that. There's so many of them though, and they're so pricey, so I'm gonna really narrow it down to the couple that I really like, but probably something from there. Amor Oud, I just did some, just did a first impressions on that. They have great offerings, and the bottle prices are pretty good, you know, for the certain milliliters that you get. So might grab something from there, but not real positive on my next purchase yet. So, and then who knows, whatever comes up on eBay that's really rare or exciting, and you know, something like that too, I might grab. So nothing really on the radar though, but Fragrance Du Bois. So my dream fragrance I kind of already have. It's Destrier, you know, by Matriarch, the House of Matriarch, and Christy Michelle really put something together that's very, very special to my heart with that fragrance. So, you know, I'm going to do a review on that soon, so I'll talk a little bit more about that. But that's probably, you know, the fragrance that I really wanted kind of in my life, and you know, it's not like, you know, I'm going to get tons of compliments. It's not even about all that. It's about something just very special to me and something in my life. So, but I'll get onto that with my review. But guys, thank you so much. Jay Copeland, thank you, my friend. Really, really special that you chose me out of all the great reviewers and people. I really appreciate that you invited me to do this. So I thank you for that. I'm going to go ahead and tag Carlos. Hopefully you haven't done this yet. I haven't seen it, but Carlos, man, you are doing so well in this community. I mean, you know, in my book, whoever gets 1,000 subscribers in a month or two, I mean, you guys are just, he's already up to 11,000. So congratulations on that. Bringing so much to the community. Whenever there's a new fragrance out there, boom, you're on it. You know, me, I like to kind of do the stuff that's already kind of not really been talked about, but you know, and I know you're nailing the new stuff out there right now, and people love to see that. So great job, great collabs with our boy Steven and everyone out there in New York. So thank you for that. But I want to tag you to hopefully do this list. Hopefully I nailed all the questions here. My chicken scratch is kind of hard to read and stuff, and I'm sorry that I didn't answer a few of them. It's tough to answer these questions sometimes with least favorite, most favorite. My gosh, it's so hard to do that, you know. So, but guys, RiseFrags34, thanks again for everything. Thanks for always supporting my channel and subscribing and watching and commenting. Again, learning so much. This fragrance hobby and passion we have is just awesome. So smell great, and talk to you guys soon. Thanks again.